At 3:47 a.m. on January 9, 2021, the small town of Blackwood, Maine, was plunged into an inexplicable silence. Not the silence of a sleeping town, but an unnatural, absolute void. Every radio, television, and cellular device within a 5-mile radius ceased to function. Then, a single emergency broadcast signal cut through the dead air. It wasn't a warning. It was a voice, a child's voice, whispering a series of numbers. And then a scream. By dawn, the signal was gone. The silence remained. And the Blackwood Sheriff's Department would open a file that would challenge every known law of physics and sanity. This is Case File 21-009, The Echo in the Static. Blackwood, Maine, was a town built on old money and older secrets. Nestled deep in the pine forests, its primary industry was a defunct logging mill and a small, private research facility known only as the Institute. Locals rarely spoke of the Institute and outsiders rarely found it. Life in Blackwood was quiet, predictable, and, until January 9, 2021, entirely unremarkable. The first sign of trouble wasn't a siren or a shouted warning. It was the absence of sound. Mrs. Eleanor Vance, a retired librarian, woke to find her bedside radio emitting only a hiss. Her husband's CPAP machine was silent. Their digital clock was frozen at 3:47 a.m. Across town, Sheriff Thomas Miller's patrol car sputtered and died. His radio crackled with nothing but dead air. His phone displayed a blank screen. The entire town was an electronic ghost. Then, the emergency broadcast system, a relic from the Cold War, activated. Not on every device, but on a handful of older analog radios and televisions. Sheriff Miller, attempting to restart his cruiser, heard it on his car's ancient AM/FM. It was a child's voice, faint and distorted, reciting numbers in a rhythmic pattern. 3, 5, 7, 2, 1, 9. Then, a piercing, guttural scream that seemed to tear through the very fabric of the air. It lasted for precisely 4.7 seconds before the broadcast cut out, replaced by the same unnatural silence. By 4 a.m., the electronic blackout lifted as abruptly as it had begun. Devices flickered back to life. Clocks reset. Radios hummed with static. But the scream and the numbers were burned into the minds of those who heard them. Sheriff Miller immediately launched an investigation. The source of the broadcast was traced to an abandoned radio tower on the outskirts of Blackwood, a structure that had been derelict for decades. There was no power to the tower, no transmission equipment, and no signs of recent human activity. Yet the signal had come from there. Further investigation revealed a disturbing pattern. The numbers recited by the child's voice, 3, 5, 7, 2, 1, 9, corresponded to the last 6 digits of the social security numbers of 6 individuals who had disappeared from Blackwood over the past 3 years. All 6 had worked at the Institute. The Institute, a sprawling, heavily secured complex, had always been a source of local speculation. Officially, it was a private research facility focusing on advanced materials science. Unofficially, rumors of strange experiments and even stranger disappearances had circulated for decades. Sheriff Miller, accompanied by Deputy Sarah Jenkins, obtained a warrant to search the Institute. They found a sterile, labyrinthine facility mostly empty. Labs were pristine, equipment powered down. It was as if everyone had simply walked away. In a sub-basement behind a reinforced door, they found a single, active laboratory. Inside, a complex array of antiquated audio equipment glowed with an eerie green light. Reel-to-reel tape recorders spun silently. Oscilloscopes displayed fluctuating waveforms. And in the center of the room, a single, child-sized chair faced a microphone. On the chair, a small, worn teddy bear sat. "It's right, I was missing." Deputy Jenkins noticed a faint hum emanating from the microphone. She leaned closer, and through the hum, she heard it. The child's voice, whispering the numbers. 3, 5, 7, 2, 1, 9. And then the scream. But this time it wasn't a recording. It was live. It was happening now. Sheriff Miller immediately ordered the equipment shut down. As he reached for the power switch, a sudden violent surge of static erupted from the speakers. The lights flickered, and a chilling, distorted image appeared on one of the oscilloscopes. It was a face, a child's face, contorted in terror, its right eye a black void. The image vanished as the power died. When the technicians from the state police arrived, they found the lab in disarray. The equipment was fried. The teddy bear was gone. And the microphone, when examined, showed no signs of ever having been connected to a power source. Yet, The hum and the whispering numbers were still faintly audible to anyone who held the microphone to their ear. The 6 missing individuals were never found. The institute was permanently sealed by federal order. The official report cited a massive electromagnetic pulse of unknown origin as the cause of the blackout and the strange broadcast. But Sheriff Miller never believed it. He spent the rest of his career haunted by the child's voice and the impossible scream. He would often tell Deputy Jenkins that the numbers weren't a code, but a countdown. And the scream wasn't a sound of pain, but a sound of arrival. Years later, after Miller's retirement, Deputy Jenkins received a package. Inside was a small, worn teddy bear. "It's right, I was missing." Attached was a note, written in a child's hand. "He's coming for the rest of them. Some mysteries are not meant to be solved. Some signals are not meant to be heard. And some echoes, once awakened, never truly fade." If you ever hear a voice in the static, or see a number that shouldn't exist, remember Blackwood. Remember the silence, and pray you're not next on the list.